Play clock at 5. Pass is in.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it, scream from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
That might send the Yankees to the World Series.
Welcome to the third episode of Rivalry Sports. Today we'll be discussing the effects of NFL free agency. Well, the Jets certainly have had a very aggressive offseason. They signed Tyron Smith to a 1-year, $20 million with $6 million guaranteed, and they traded for Morgan Moses as a right tackle. And as of today, they just signed Mike Williams to a 1-year, up to $15 million deal. Luke, as a Jets fan, how do you think this has gone?
I think it's been a great offseason so far. I mean, you couldn't have asked for any more. Came into the offseason with 2 offensive linemen. Now they have a full offensive line. They have former Pro Bowl left tackle Tyron Smith, who's a great left tackle. You got a good right tackle. You got a young left guard to fill in. And then you got your number 2 receiver, in Mike Williams, who, when he's healthy, he's really good. So I think this has been a great offseason so far. I still think they're going to look to add a little more to their depth, maybe on the defensive side. But, yeah, I've really liked what they've done so far this offseason.
Yeah, that's the key with Mike Williams. If healthy, that seems like that's been a very reoccurring theme of his career. You know, we both play fantasy football. We know how it is. You know, he's great for 1 week, then the next week he goes out. It's always a hamstring injury, and then he's out for another 4 more weeks. That's just how it goes with him. But I really like what you guys have done with your offensive line. Tyron Smith, I feel like, obviously, he's one of the best left tackles in the game. There's really no debate about that. And then Morgan Moses, he'll hold it down. You know, he's not Evan Neal bad, but he's going to be all right.
Yeah, I mean, all we really need to do is make the offensive line good enough. Like, they didn't have to be the best offensive line in the NFL. We have Aaron Rodgers. We have a great defense. We have receivers. We have Breece Hall. So you just need a solid offensive line so the defenders weren't coming through every time like they were last year.
Yeah, and Rodgers, you know, especially with the ACL or the Achilles injury, his trademark really is get the ball out quick and be accurate. And to have a good offensive line like you guys now have, it's really going to be helping Rodgers out a lot.
Yeah, so the Jets still trying to trade former number 2 overall pick in Zach Wilson. I don't see how that happens anymore. I mean, Justin Fields got traded for a 6th-round pick. So I don't know how we end up getting anything for Wilson. I think they're just going to have to cut him at some point and take their loss, draft a quarterback in one of the later rounds to be our 3rd quarterback behind Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, I don't know. He's just been really bad his whole career. There's not much you could do with him.
Yeah, there's really no market for him. I heard some rumors that he might go to San Francisco, but I just don't see a team wanting to take him on. I mean, we haven't really heard anything about him being a great teammate. I mean, there's really just not a lot to look forward to with Zach Wilson. Still makes the same mental mistakes he made in his rookie year. We're entering, year 4 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, year 4, so I really don't see the appeal of trading for him.
Yeah. So, as a Patriots fan, I mean, you guys have made some decent moves. You re-signed Michael Wenu, your offensive tackle, and you signed KJ Osborne from the Vikings, a wide receiver. How do you feel about the offseason so far?
You know, we have a new GM, new coach. I like that we're taking a bit of a cautious approach for our first offseason. We obviously have, about $100 million in cap room. So, I mean, I think next offseason is where we'll reassess things. Obviously, we have the 3rd overall pick for now. Looks like we might draft a quarterback. So all the help we can get really is appreciated for our young guy. And we really haven't made any major moves other than KJ Osborne, I guess, if you would call that a major move. But, yeah, just helping out whoever our young quarterback is.
So if you were picking with that 3rd pick for the Patriots, what would you do? Who do you think you would take?
Well, if I was
the Patriots,
if I was the GM, if I was Elliott Wolf, I would trade back with Minnesota 100%. We would presumably get pick 11 and pick 24. They'd still have to, maybe throw in a 4th. We'd throw in a 5th. that type of stuff. But the real basis of the deal would be 11 and 24 for pick 3. I'd love to take J.J. McCarthy. As a Michigan fan, I saw what he could do. He's very inconsistent, but that's kind of how it is with all, college quarterbacks. They come in very raw to the NFL. And then with pick 24, I'd really like Ladd McConkey out of Georgia. I think he's a really great route runner. He just seems like a really nice piece to a good team. And we obviously need all the receiver help that we can get. So I think that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys draft J.J. McCarthy too, because I don't think he's that good. I mean, I saw him playing college. It didn't seem like he was really throwing the ball at all. I feel like all Michigan did was run with Corum.
Yeah, scouts are very divided on McCarthy. He could easily be the most predictable bust of the draft era, really, or he could turn out to be good. So as a Jets fan, I'd ask you the same question. With pick 10, what do you want to do with it?
Well, all offseason I was thinking maybe an offensive lineman, and then we got our offensive line. I was thinking a receiver. But now we have a receiver too. So there's one guy in my mind, and it's Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. Plays like a receiver outside. He can block. It gives Aaron Rodgers just a weapon. Just a guy you could put anywhere on the field, and he's just going to make plays for you. He could, in the run game, in the pass game, it doesn't matter. He does everything right. And I think that's huge for Aaron Rodgers to set up the Jets season, really.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Bowers is really a unicorn. I mean, he's one of one in at least this draft. We haven't seen a tight end prospect as good as him since Kyle Pitts. That was quite a few years ago. And then, Aaron Rodgers made Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis look like serviceable tight ends. Now imagine what he can do with Brock Bowers. I think he'll be a great prospect. He's going to be like that Kelsey type where he's just going to work the middle of the field, find open spots in the zone. So I think he'll be a great pick.
Yeah. Thanks for watching Rivalry Sports this week, and we'll see you next week.